Hi Pisces, welcome to the Modern Spiritualist. My name is Raheem. Today we're going to look at January for you guys. This can be used for Pisces Sun, Moon, or Rising. And I'm just going to get started. I did a Celtic cross spread for the month of January. A lot of pentacles, looking pretty good. I'm using the Thoth deck for you guys. It was just calling out to me for you for some reason. And yeah, I'm excited. So let's look at your central theme or your starting point for the month of January. You guys have the Two of Pentacles. A lot of change happening. I'm really getting a heavy hit on work, so I think many of you guys, maybe you're moving jobs, maybe you're getting a promotion, maybe you are looking for new work and you find new work, maybe you are expanding your business in some way if you're a business owner. I don't feel like you're starting a business, but if you've already started a business and you're kind of on the beginning of this, I think you may be implementing some changes or starting to see movement in that area. And some of you guys just may be multitasking a little bit if you're managing two businesses, if you have two jobs. This is just making sure that you are valuing your time in a way that doesn't make you feel overly drained or tired. I think you are managing it. Like, I'm feeling a lot of balance in this card, even though there's some changes. You guys are very flexible, so I think you can use that to your benefit this month. And I see a really powerful potential for getting results from whatever this is, whether it's a job or a project or a performance or a relationship. But I'm really feeling job. I'm really feeling job. And I'm feeling that whatever movement you experience in this job, whatever changes occur, it's not only going to impact you financially in a positive way, but it's also going to do something deeper. Like, I feel like this is whatever happens this month that changes something for you in work, is this stepping stone towards your destiny, in a way that you can really feel, even if you're kind of on the beginning steps of this journey or whatever it is. I feel like you are learning new skills or making the connections that you need to make to really push your own destiny and soul's purpose further with whatever route you're taking. So you're changing your trajectory just a little, or you're maybe adding something new to your plate. If you're a business owner, maybe this is like new hires that you're training or working with, or new collaborators or coworkers, or yeah, I just feel change in the workplace. You're implementing changes. I feel like most of this is your decision to make, and it's going to be for the benefit of both your business or your place of work or your career and your financial situation. Feels really positive. Crossing that energy is the Ten of Pentacles. This is the Wealth card. And so I get the sense that whatever you're doing with work, what you're trying to do is create a space for yourself where you are getting the maximum financial benefits, and you're not overextending yourself. And so I think for many of you, this is kind of like taking on new employees or coworkers, or co-management even, or something like that, or setting up some sort of more elaborate or detailed system for yourself or for your place of work where the system kind of runs independently of you, and you're not putting too much weight on your own shoulders. So this will kind of ease off any pressure you may have been feeling, and it'll make everything run smoother. And so I think you're making really good decisions in January. I think it really is for the systematic benefit of you and your place of work, and you're going to see a lot of good results from it. You're really maximizing your time, maximizing your flow of money, and creating a really balanced system for yourself and for everyone involved. It feels really good. Really clear, too. Deep past affecting the present. We have the Six of Pentacles. It's in reverse. Now, this is an imbalance of energy. So this is you putting a lot of work in to something, and either not seeing the results that you want, or not getting getting enough feedback or enough appreciation for what you have put in. And so there's this sense of like, something really putting a drain on your energy in the past, that I think you're just saying no to. Because I feel a really clean divide between the Six of Pentacles reversed energy and these Pentacle cards here in the center, where you just learned from your mistakes of the past. You're like, I'm not going to put too much energy into something when I can have other people running certain things for me, or something like that, so that, it's kind of like if you've been running the entire show and have gotten very, very minimal help. It's like when you drop the ball or something, and I'm not saying like you've screwed up, but like if you miss something or something falls through the cracks because you just have too much on your plate, it's like all people are responding to is like the one mistake you made, rather than all the other work you've been doing around it, and you're just not getting what you put in from anyone. And so you're kind of like, okay, that's enough of that. I'm done with that energy. I'm not carrying it into 2021. And now we have these Pentacle cards here in the center basically saying, okay, I need help. I'm going to resource. I'm not going to put in more effort than I need to in order to receive the benefits and the rewards that I get back from it. And so you're just evening out the playing field so that you don't burn yourself out. And I think that's really positive, really practical. Really proud of you guys. In your foundation, this month we have the Hanged Man. I think January, and I've said this for most people, January is really going to be kind of like a time to regather yourself, review, and regroup. And so with these Pentacle cards, I do think that you will be implementing changes in January. However, I would just be open to the fact that maybe certain systems that you put in place or that you try may change, like they may be subject to change. And I don't mean like huge change, but just fluctuation, or you try some fluctuations, the Two of Pentacles as well. Fluctuation, or you try something and you realize, okay, that doesn't really work very well. I'm going to have to revise what I'm doing again. And so allow whatever you're, kind of masterminding or designing here, whatever system you're putting in place, allow a little flexibility, because what you start with may not be where you end up. And again, I don't mean that's like a huge change. I mean, I think where you're starting is really, really good and positive, but it's also going to be a kind of you learning as you go, seeing what works and what doesn't, and refining as necessary, okay? And that's going to keep you in process, in the energy, in a good way. Crowning you this month, we have the Princess of Wands. This is to free up your time. Everything that you're doing here is so that you can free up your time a little bit, so that you can focus on what you're going to do next for you. Whether that's work or it's just entirely separate, whether you're like, I need some people to take on some of my workload so that I can pay more attention to my family or your friends or your passion projects or your own internal process, your spirituality. Like it's kind of endless. It's like wherever your art, if you're an artist, and many Pisces are. So what I'm kind of seeing is you having some people take on more workload, which will free up your time and energy to devote to something else that you really care about. And so I feel your passion kind of rising. I feel you working towards a place where you can kind of tinker around with things and play around with things that are important to you, that you just haven't been able to devote the time to because you just have not had time. And so that's all really positive as well. New circumstance, we have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, this is a period of great growth for you. I think you have been in that for a while. In 2020, we all kind of dismantled certain things, but I for people that really harnessed the energy well and took everything in stride and went with the flow, there was also potential for great, great growth. And so what I feel from you guys is that you did grow a lot in 2020. You made things happen for you, practical things happen for you. And so with this Nine of Pentacles here, it's just saying, keep up the good work. You already can look at your wake and see what you have grown coming into 2021. And you're going to continue to grow. And that's the beauty of this process right now. And so it's kind of like the springtime. It's not like you've hit the point where you've peaked and things start to decline again, like in late summer or whatever. It's still spring. And so everything is blossoming and it's beautiful and there's more, right? So just keep going. And you're going to get to see the fruits of that soon. And that's super exciting. Your energy this month, we have the Ten of Swords. Wow. So this is about endings. And again, I almost feel like this energy is kind of more about hindsight. I think maybe in 2020 you've really had some Ten of Swords moments, and what I mean by that is moments where it felt like everything was falling apart, or moments where it felt like you were dying, or you transformed a lot, and so there was a lot of, thematically, I mean, of course, collectively, the theme is death right now, but even for those of us that haven't been directly impacted by COVID-19, there's been a lot of potential for personal, energetic death and rebirth and becoming new people. And so I think a lot of old energy has died. A lot of old baggage that you've carried or old ways of being has died. So you're coming into the new year kind of a new person. And I've said that to several people already as well. It's really been a major theme, is everyone's kind of entering 2021 with entirely new energy, which is nice about the dismantling process of 2020, even though it was, stressful and in some ways tragic. But as we're coming into 2021, those of us that have made it out and haven't, moved on to non-human pastures, right? Those of us that are still in this, we have powerful potential for change. I mean, to change everything, like the systems in place on a collective level, and us in our individual lives, and how we make money, and how we direct our energy, and how we show up in relationship, show up in our integrity, show up in responsibility. All these things are kind of subject to change right now. And you're feeling all of that. And so, swords is a mental energy, and that's really what I'm getting from you right now, is you are thinking about a lot of things. You're reflecting on 2020, you're reflecting on who you were versus who you are now, what has died, and based on what has died, what you need to plant now, like what needs to grow, what needs to be birthed into the world. And it's kind of like you're just picking off all the loose ends. Like I feel like you really are ready to start fresh. And so the little timeout that I was saying that 2021 is, even though you'll be working, it is a time for review and revision and reflection, and you're utilizing that energy to kill off all the rest of the old cycles so that you're not taking it with you into February. And so this is feeling really good as well, because you've already done most of the work. This is kind of more just like aligning yourself with all that's happened, giving it some perspective. Perspective is the hangman as well. And moving on to bigger and better things, okay? Really awesome. Environment this month. We have the Fool. This is new start. So here we have an ending here, and we have rebirth here. New start, new adventure. Maybe you're starting completely new projects this month that you are 100% ready for, even though you may not know the path forward yet. And so this is just you taking that initial step and saying, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm ready. I don't have all the answers yet, but I'm going to do it anyway. We have the Prince of Wands reverse paired with that. And so I think this is just saying that you may not move forward with whatever this is in January. It may just come later, and you're kind of laying the groundwork now. This being in your environment, I think everything is just going to be showing up a bit differently in January. Maybe, with the vaccines, beginning to be distributed now. I'm not sure when all that's going to, really start to kick off, when we all start getting vaccines collectively and things like that. But, maybe because that's what we're heading towards, new administration as well, thank God. Since that's what we're heading towards, you are kind of looking at something new here around you. The world is changing. The world is changing. The world is thinking about how it's going to move forward, even if it doesn't take a lot of steps yet. Trying to feel a little deeper into this energy. This is just the powerful potential for change. Again, I've already said that so many times, but this is more about a collective story, powerful potential for change. But everyone's still just kind of exploring their new ground. And so things might go a little slowly before they really start to kick back off. And things, will be different. And I think that's hard for many people to wrap their minds around. And so that kind of says this as well, is like, what are we going to do different? What's different now? We're all taking stock of this new world that we're in. And so I think this energy honestly really supports everything that you're doing on a personal level, because you are picking off the rest of this old cycle that you're not taking with you. You're being really diligent about how you're going to manage your time and energy and work in the world. And this is basically supporting all of that. This is saying that it's going to be relatively easy to connect into that flow and just do your thing in your own timing and pacing. So that's really special. Hopes and fears, we have the Eight of Cups reversed. This is a Saturn and Pisces energy. I think this may be a little bit of a grief moment for you. Not that there's, not that it's going to be a dense, all-encompassing thing. I think this is just a small aspect of all the parts of your experience right now. But this is grieving what has been lost, whether that's people in your life to COVID-19, people in your life to other things, whether or not they've died. Maybe people have left your life. Maybe you've left jobs or relationships or projects behind because you just realize that they're not going to really support you in the way that you need moving forward. And so this just may be a moment where you're grieving things that you have lost. And I think this may come a little out of left field for you guys, solely because it feels like it seems like you're telling yourself you should have already let it go, or that it doesn't matter, or you're in such a different place now that you kind of can't believe that maybe this is pulling on you, whatever this old energy is. But this is mirroring the Ten of Swords. Whatever emotions, difficult emotions or grief-like emotions come up in January, you have the capability with this Ten of Swords energy to release it and let it go. And so allow the emotions to move through you, even if they don't seem to make sense with where you're at currently, your current frequency. This is just kind of the lower frequency aspects of you that have not yet dropped off, and they'll just need a little bit of attention so that you can fully move on. So again, this is like the last gasp of the old cycle so that you can fully step into the new, okay? And then crowning you this month, we have the Emperor reversed. So you're stepping into leadership in a new way, and you might be freaking out. So, maybe you got a promotion recently, a managerial promotion, and so now you have to organize all these things. You're doing it differently than people that came before you. Whatever you're doing is completely new, completely your own. And so I think the freak out a little bit might be like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. What do I think I'm doing? How can I do this? I don't have, the skills or the ability for this. I'm not ready for this. Why me? All of those kinds of stories are coming up. This could also be, if you're running your own business and it's relatively new, or you're just running your own business you have for a while and you're implementing really new methods or modes or systems or whatever. Something is just, you're changing things up in a way that is not only going to be really beneficial and is going to work out for you because all these cards are very practical. But I think what's left of that is just like the natural kind of doubt that comes up when we're being so authentic that we're doing things no one has done before. Okay, it's naturally terrifying because most of us don't operate like that. So for those of us that are, it's like, holy shit, what am I doing, right? And so you'll just need to manage that. Towards the end of the month, that may be when these stories come up. And so you'll just need to manage that. Because what this is basically saying is that you have the potential and the capacity for all the leadership, sovereignty, authority, wisdom, whatever. You have access to all of that within you that's going to get you through this cycle. You just need to believe in yourself. And I think I said that to you guys maybe November, December as well, is like the biggest issue here is just you telling yourself that you can't do it or you're not ready for it or, why me? When the reality is that you have all this power, all this magic, all this support behind you, at least from spirit, if not anyone else. But Ten of Pentacles is a really supportive card. I think you have a lot of people around you. They're in your corner. They look up to you. And it's just time to do this. It may feel like you're stepping off with the Fool too. It may feel like you're just stepping off that ledge a little bit, like stepping off into a precipice, right? And it's just kind of like, oh, am I going to fall or am I not going to find the ground or whatever? But this is really just about self-trust, cultivating that self-trust, and really stepping into your power more and more and more as these changes and this growth and whatever it is that you're building start to unfold more and more. I think you're going to step even more into your power. So this may hang around for a while, this Emperor reversed, but just see it for what it is. Remind yourself that you are ready for this. You can do it. You have all the power in the world. You have all the resources that you need, and just keep going. And you'll do great. And those of you that are in a position of authority, I do want to say one more thing about this in reverse is just careful how you speak to people, especially people that you have a certain degree of authority over, because when we get into an insecurity story or a doubt story about our own authority, that's when we tend to step into kind of like a pattern of, poor leadership, even if it's just for a moment, which if that does happen, just notice that you did or said something that you shouldn't have, and apologize and readjust and learn from that. But just watch for power dynamics, control dynamics, anything like that. I think the best forms of leadership are somewhat egalitarian, where you really do appreciate where other people are at. And even if you have a certain degree of authority over someone, open yourself up to the wisdom of that person, so that you can really tap into the energy of where they are instead of trying to maintain a power dynamic. Leaders, good leaders, understand that we're all participating in the same game, right? So the way to manage that is just to recognize that, you don't have to be this like perfect person or this all-knowing person to be a good leader and manage people well. And you wouldn't be in this position of power if it wasn't for you or if you weren't ready for it. So you do have the leadership capability. So if you can relax that control story, you'll be a better leader for it. And I think that's important to note. That's only for some of you, but it's just something to keep in mind. Is watch the way that you are speaking to other people. Yeah, and I think that's it. I think you're in a really good position in January. The energy mostly feels very, very clear. It seems like you know where you're going and you're going to get there. And I look forward to hearing about what this is. So please leave a comment and let me know what you're working on. I'd love to hear about it. Otherwise, you can schedule something private with me, a private reading with me, if you want to figure out how to best navigate your particular situation. And hit like if you like this video, subscribe if you want to see the next Pisces video. I love you guys, and I will see you guys in February. Bye.